Hi everyone, this is Mary Ellen coming to you from Moonrise Cottage for your August 7th full moon eclipse reading taking place as the sun is in Leo. So welcome. I think this will probably also be a two-part video. I've been waiting for the energy to settle here. I've just come through two eye surgeries, and I'm doing quite well. Thanks for all the well wishes. And you know me well enough to know now. I look into things as deeply as possible to understand. And I find it beautifully significant that in this moment, here in 2017, this time of great shift and change, helping us awaken, my vision has been restored after many years of visual disturbance. At first I was unaware. So that's what Spirit wants me to talk about. I was just going to do a card reading, and last night and early this morning, I felt my energy recuperate enough to be able to connect with the energy of the eclipse that is coming in just a few days. And so I had some astral travel early this morning during my sleep time. And what was happening for me was it felt like hearing the voices. Spirit's telling me it was the voices of humanity coming from every corner of the earth, and the discussions that are happening between you and Spirit. There are messages coming through that had to do with a word that actually came up during the readings, and the word is emergence. So in these eclipses that are coming, Spirit's telling me that will be one of the predominant themes. We will emerge in ways, each in our own way, in your own life, in the way that is significant for you. And Spirit is wanting everyone to know to please honor that and understand the significance of your being and your being present in these moments with all of the deepest feelings and knowings that come into you and then through you out into the life you walk through. And please, Spirit's saying, please, the word that's coming through is acknowledging. Please acknowledge yourself and don't doubt. I hear that message a lot. So, I've gotten a little ahead of myself. For those of you that are new, welcome. For returning viewers, hi, thank you for being here. I am so grateful to everyone because it really does affect the beauty of these readings and what comes through me for you. And that's the purpose of this channel. So, while I was having some experiences in the dream time last night and early this morning, Spirit asked me again to have a fire ceremony, and that message started coming out when I did the Aries reading for the month of August. That's part of why the reading was the way it was. Fire ceremonies are about cleansing and releasing. And Spirit saying, and acknowledging having come through a pathway to a certain point. So I am actually going to do a fire ceremony today as part one of this reading, along with the card shuffle. And so when I began to gather my energy and focus it on the cards, this is what happened on my desk. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. Let me just widen that out and show you. I kept getting messages, you need this, and you need that, and you gotta have this, and wait, now go and get that, and here, we need this, and this, and this. And that's kind of how it happens for me. People always want to know, well, how do the messages come through? And sometimes it's just like a conversation you would have with a friend. And so one by one, these items began to assemble themselves on my little desktop. The first thing that happened was the cards. I sat, I gathered up the cards, I did a little bit of pre-shuffle, and Spirit said, put the amethyst crystal on top and let the cards rest. Let them just be here. And so that's part of the message, I think. We've come to this place. Those that have been here on the channel, watching all these videos, we've come together. Spirit says, into this beautiful unit of energy for the purpose of healing ourselves and therefore those around us, because like the cards, we are all connected. We are this close. Spirit says, Spirit's wanting me to do this, to demonstrate. We don't really see it, we don't experience it in our day-to-day, but Spirit says, nonetheless, it's very true. So the cards just sat here in waiting, absorbing the energy of the crystal, while I was moving about the house and gathering things from the various places that I keep them. And in one of the center places in the house, I do have a meditation altar, and many of those things are here now, along with some beautiful items that have come to me as gifts since I started this channel. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And this stone that was sent to me from far across the world, and by a woman whose name is B, and I just want to say thank you. This has just been lovely to have in my space, and I thank you for that. And Spirit says thank you. So that asks, it's been sitting on my brass statue of Shiva, the Alpha and the Omega, the end and the beginning, all wrapped into one. And that theme has been coming out as well. And it's funny, you see this thing? I dropped this on the floor. It was the top for a little container that I had, and it broke. And Spirit said, just to honor and acknowledge those people who were feeling brokenhearted in this time of healing. It's important to acknowledge all of the triumph and the sadness that brought us along this pathway. So that is here with us. And a representation of the tides, which is really beautiful. So, as I was assembling my items, Spirit says they're my items, things that Spirit wants to utilize to speak with you about the eclipse. The dragonflies came. I'm sitting, staring over my front meadow, and there were just dozens and dozens and dozens of dragonflies hovering around and flying across the meadow, which is not unusual this time of year in this climate here in the northeast of the U.S. So I thought, well, I'm going to start with that. So I'm going to read from the Animal Medicine Cards book, the story of Dragonfly. Okay, Spirit says, show you that. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. Dragonfly breaks illusions. It brings visions of power. There's no need to prove it. Now is the hour. Know it, believe it. Great Spirit intercedes, feeding you, blessing you, and filling all your needs. So, dragonfly medicine has to do with illusion. It is of the dream time and the illusionary facade that we accept as physical reality. The iridescence of dragonflies' wings remind us of colors not found in our everyday experience. Dragonflies' shifting of color and energy and form and movement explodes into the mind of the observer, bringing vague memories of a time or place where magic reigned. Some legends say that dragonfly was once dragon, and that dragon had scales like dragonfly's wings. Dragon was full of wisdom and flew through the night, bringing light with its fiery breath. The breath of dragon brought forth the art of magic and the illusion of changing form. Dragonfly is the essence of the winds of change, the messages of wisdom and enlightenment, and the communications from the elemental world. The elemental world is made up of the tiny spirits of plants and the elements of air, earth, fire, and water. In essence, this world is filled with nature spirits. If dragonfly has flown into your cards today, it may be time to break down the illusions you have held that restrict your actions or ideas. Dragonfly medicine always beckons you to seek out the parts of your habits which need to change. Have you tended to the changes you have wanted to make in your own life? If you feel the need for change, call on Dragonfly to guide you through the mists of illusion to the pathway of transformation. See how you can apply the art of illusion in your present questions or situations, and remember that things are never completely as they seem. So that's really beautiful. As most of you know, I am not an astrologer, and from time to time I talk about astrological events, as I'm doing today, because they affect our progress. Spirit is saying we are one with the stars and the planets, and we are of them. It is how we arrived here, and so their movements and their shifts and their changes do affect us. So, in this eclipse, which, depending on where you are, it's the 7th, over in the night of the 7th and 8th, or day, I suppose, depending on what time zone you're in, of August. And the moon will be full, and there will be a partial eclipse as the moon moves past Earth's shadow. And so Spirit wanted to talk about the shadow aspects of life. And I think that's why the dragonfly energy came into the meadow, came into the reading. And, with the visions that I had, it was as if, like I said, I was hearing the voices of people speaking. Spirit says the voices of their spirit speaking while I was asleep. And it was, that's how it felt. Almost like the echo. Off in the distance, I could hear the intentions. And, my belief is of many of the folks who've been here with me on this journey, it's as if I can hear what your spirit is voicing, which was incredibly beautiful. So I thank you for that beautiful connection. So at the time of the eclipse, which happens, I'm not sure if I said it, at 1810, here in the Northeast, that's 6:10 p.m. And the sun will be 15 degrees of Leo, conjuncting with the star of Isis, which is really fascinating. Isis is the goddess of magical wisdom and the mistress of healing and secrets. And so, as I go through my process, I understand this is why this Penelope, Spirit says, started to unfold in this way. So, I believe what I'm going to do is to just gather my energy, and we'll do a little bit of a fire ceremony together. Then I will shuffle the cards and lay them and separate the video, and part 2 will be the reading. So anyone who doesn't want to continue to follow along, I'll be looking forward to seeing you at part 2. Thank you. Spirit, as we have gathered together here at Moonrise Cottage with our hearts and our souls, many of us taking wing in the magical assistance of Raven and Hawk and Eagle, all the spirit beings that assist us as we walk. Through the spiral of life. Illuminate our path. Allow our fears and our hesitations, our doubts, rise on the smoke and be released into the beautiful light of the full moon at this time of great healing, in order to help us reach our destiny and be prepared for the beautiful eclipse of the sun. Give us the strength and the wisdom to understand this moment of culmination and new beginnings. As we spin our own individual magic out into this world, the intentions of our hearts spinning. Okay, Spirit says turn this over. We'll talk about that during the reading. So thank you everyone for your patience and for being here. Oh, in these quiet moments while we prepare together for the cards to come out.